Hey, what's up? This is Mr. Shakar, and we are going to be going over what is a polygon, area of them polygons, like area of triangles, area of parallelograms, and area of some banana shapes. Okay, not actually like a shape like a banana, but some crazy shapes. Okay, so that are still polygons, because let's talk about what makes a polygon. So the first thing, it has to have straight lines. So yes, a polygon has straight lines, all right? It has no curved lines. This is not a polygon. Cross my heart, that is not a polygon, okay? Because it has curved lines. Second thing, it's gotta be a simple closed figure, okay? Closed figure means that all of the sides kind of close up and you get angles in between. This one has an open area, so not closed, not a polygon, okay? There's also no overlap. Whereas this one, I could say that these are two separate polygons, but they're not one polygon. Whereas this guy, this attempt at a hexagon, is hexa-right as a polygon A. And then the last one is that it's got to be a 2D shape. All right, and so I see that this is two-dimensional, whereas this is an attempt at a three-dimensional cube. So yeah, these are differences between polygons like these and non-polygons. Great, so you understand how to do that. That is fantastic. So to continue, we're going to talk about area of stuff. So area of some of these shapes would be things like triangle area. Now to find the area of a triangle, we go area is equal to base times your height divided by 2. And when we talk about height, it's always perpendicular height. For example, when I measure from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet, it's always a perpendicular height, okay? So I would say, hey, I'm 5'10", because from the ground perpendicular up, I'm 5'10". I'm not 20 feet tall like I am from the top of my head to the corner of the room. So that's not gonna work out. So let's go ahead and let's solve one like this, all right? Now, I have a base of 5, this perpendicular height of 11, and this diagonal slanted height of 13. Now, don't use a slanted height when it comes to solving for area using height, okay? We want a perpendicular height. So this one I would be like, no thanks. I just want my base and my height. So according to this equation, I'm gonna go base 5 units times 11 units, okay? And then I'm gonna divide by 2 eventually. 5 times 11 is gonna be 55. Divided by 2 is gonna give us 27.5, okay? 27.5. So 27.5 or 27.5 inches squared. Look at me labeling my units. Oh my beans, okay? That's gonna be a big deal, and I want you to label your units. Let's go over to a parallelogram, okay? So here's a parallelogram. This parallelogram has a base of 9. It has a slanted height of 7.5 and a perpendicular height of 4.5 inches. Now, one of these things is not like the other, and I don't want to use it. Slanted height, I don't want to use it. So I'm going to cross that out. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to multiply my base times my height, because in a parallelogram, area is equal to base times height. Don't divide it by anything. All right, it just is what it is, and we're gonna say that's great. So we're gonna go 9 times 4.5, so we're gonna say 4.5 times 9, because everybody knows they're 4.5s, and so we have 5 times 9 is gonna give me 45, and then I have 9 times 4 is 36, plus 36 plus 4 is gonna give me 40. All right, and we have 1 decimal place, so we're gonna have 1 decimal place, so we'll have an answer of 40.5, okay? So that's what we would have there. Now, that's not a complete answer because it doesn't say inches squared yet. I want it to say inches squared. So 40.5 inches squared is my area for this guy. Wonderful. Mr. Shakar, what if the shapes are not just a parallelogram or a triangle? Well, then you get to the crazy shapes, okay? And so we have to figure out what we're gonna do with that. One method is to cut your shapes up, okay? And if I was gonna chop my shapes up, I could do, I don't know, I could cut it here and I could cut it here. So I can do some chops in which I have some different pieces, all right? This one would be a 6 by 6. So I'd have 6 times 6 is gonna give me 36 units squared or inches squared, all right? That's only for this area here, okay? And then I could be like, hey, what about this section here? All right, now this section is a 2 by 4 inches. How do I know this is 4? Well, if this is 6 and the whole thing is 10, I say 6 plus equals 10, and that's going to be 4. So I go 4 times 2 in this parallelogram right here, okay? You're like, that's a rectangle. Rectangles are parallelograms, so there you go. All right, and so we have 2 times 4, which is going to give me 8 inches squared. Beautiful. All right, and then the last thing I have is that I have this triangle here. So I got to find the area of this triangle and see if I have a different color for that. So area of this triangle is going to be, it has a base of 4, because we already found that over here, or you could base or height. And then we saw that this is 2, so the distance from here to here, if the whole thing is 6 and this is 2, then this has to be 4. So we have a 4 times 4. All right, so I'm just going to label it over here. We have a base times height divided by 2, because it's a triangle. And so that's going to give me 16 divided by 2 is going to give me 8, all right, inches squared. And then I would go ahead and compile all these guys. So I'm putting together my 36 inches squared, my 8 inches squared, and my 8 inches squared. Yes, sorry, I threw myself off for a second there. And so it's going to be 16, all right, in which that would carry over 6 is 12. That give me another 1. I am doing this so bananas. That's 14, 22, all right? And that's 52 inches squared. That would be my area for that one if I did it that way, okay? Sorry for the hiccup there, kind of slowed it down. Now, another way you can do it is you can just make this into a full rectangle with this imaginary piece over here finishing it out, okay? If I did that, I'm looking at a 10 by 6. Now, a 10 by 6 is going to give me a total of 60 inches squared. All right, because that's imagining that this was a full rectangle all the way out here. But now I have to subtract this missing piece. Now this missing piece, as we stated before, it's 4 this way, all right, and 4 this way, okay? And please see over here why it's a 4 by 4, okay? And so then we'd find the area of that. 4 times 4 is going to give me 16. 16 divided by 2 is going to give me 8 inches squared. And so then I would go ahead and say, hey, I have 60 minus this missing triangle, which was 8 inches squared, which is going to give me 52 inches squared, okay? Now, you may find one of these more useful than the other, so whatever works for you, that's beautiful. You're going to find your own way, and you're going to be an amazing human, okay? And now you're an amazing human who knows both polygons, you know how to find the area of a triangle, you know how to find the area of a parallelogram, and you know how to find the area of just rando polygons, okay? So yeah, these are different methods. I really hope you have a great day. Study tonight, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace!